Hey there, Dan Martell here, serial entrepreneur, investor, and creator of SaaS Academy. In this episode, I'm going to share with you the morning routine of a multi-millionaire, my process, and the ones of my friends. I'm fortunate and blessed to be friends with extremely wealthy individuals, and we talk often about our morning rituals and our habits. So I'm going to share that with you. Be sure to stay at the end, where I'm going to tell you how to get access to my top books on high performance, around personal development, motivation, sales. And during this conversation, I'm even going to share with you the books that specifically served me in designing and crafting my morning routine. When I was 26, I was building my company Spheric, and I felt crazy overwhelmed. I think at the point we had about 16 people. We're doing about 2.5 million in revenue. And it just felt like I had pressure on my chest. Like there was a cement brick on my chest all the time. And I didn't know where it was coming from. And I decided to reach out to one of my mentors, and he started asking me about my habits and my week and the amount of hours I was working, what was I doing for self-care, etc. And it was through that journey of trying to discover for myself that I realized that my morning ritual, my habits, how I start my day is one of the most powerful things that's going to allow me to bring focus, energy, motivation, clarity of thought to the rest of the work I'm going to be doing. Okay. And it's a non-negotiable in my life today. And I've been super blessed since I discovered this process, reading all the books. I've probably read about 25 books on just habits, high performance morning routines. 2 years after that moment where I felt overwhelmed, I exited the company Spheric. I became a multimillionaire, and I've continued to do that in my career. And I don't share that to brag or impress you. I'm just sharing so you have context for who I am and what I've done. And I have the privilege of spending multiple times a year. I go away with friends of mine that are extremely wealthy, and we talk about our habits and our processes for growing. You know, I've read the books Morning Miracle, great book. If, by the way, Hal Elrod, get that book. Own Your Day by Aubrey Marcus. Another great book. That's intense. So definitely check that out. The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. These are probably the three books. If you said, I want to read some books on morning routines from very successful people, all multimillionaires, go get that book. But I'm going to share with you my process and why I do it in these 8 steps. Number 1, drink water. So when I wake up, I have a 500 milliliter bottle of water, a clean canteen, a bright orange one sitting next to me to my bed, and I chug the whole thing before my feet hit the ground. I believe, and I've read a bunch of research, that we are dehydrated from the moment we wake up in the morning. Now, if you read, Own Your Day by Aubrey Marcus, he'll tell you to put some lemon and some salt and all that stuff. You can get fancy with your morning elixir, okay? I'm just telling you, drink water and keep that going for the rest of the day. Another really simple one is, I'll keep it to the morning routine, but is drinking a similar amount of water before and after a meal, okay? That's probably the easiest life hack from just nutrition and hydration. But I think that if you wake up in the morning, first thing you do is chug 500 milliliters of water, you are kicking off the day in an incredible state. It just rehydrates your body, gets your mind clear, and lets you attack things fast. Number 2, meditation. Now, I suffer with meditation. I have ADHD. I have a hard time focusing, but I am always committed to 5 minutes. Now, what app should I use? What meditation should I use? TM, Transcendental Meditation. Should I use a headspace with it literally doesn't matter. I'm just saying, set a timer 5 minutes, sit there and just be. And when the timer goes off, move on your day. It's almost like a reset for your mind. It allows you, I think, to get ready for the creative type of thinking that hopefully you're doing in your work, where it's not about just churning things out, but it's actually solving problems in a creative way. So meditation for me allows me to set my mind up ready for that. And this is the sequence that I do it in. Number 3, affirmations. So some people have an argument that affirmations aren't powerful. So affirmation is just saying I am, right? Or, money flows to me easily and effortlessly. It's these things that you want in your life that you have to speak into existence. I was actually talking to my videographer, Sam, this morning about speaking your future into existence. And to me, affirmations is one way of doing that. If you want to have a network of people that are positive and motivated, just say, I have an incredible community of supportive and motivated friends. And it sounds weird. I don't know why, but I've been doing this for 15 years probably. And as I kind of put that out in the world, and it's not about like The Secret or, quantum mechanics and vibrations, although I do believe in that level of energetic fields, it's more about telling yourself that you're worth having that and that is the direction. It sets almost like the radar for your heat-seeking missile to go create that. By saying it and being positive in the affirmation of what you want to create into the future, I think you create the scenarios by your decision makings, by the way you respond to emails, to make them come to life. Number 4, goals. I am huge on goals. If you tell me you want to build a business and I ask you where do you want to be in a year and you don't have an answer for that, like specific, SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, and realistic, and timely, if you don't have that design, then I don't know how you're building a business. So I'm a big fan of goals. What I do is I review in the morning. These are all like 5-minute things. I review the yearly goals or the quarterly goals ahead of me that I set, business and personal. So I do both. I do the same thing for the next year and I do the same thing for the next 25 years. So I'm a big fan of knowing short term, medium term, which is the year, kind of like range, and then the 25 year, because I believe it's more important to know where you're going and disconnect from the how in the mid-range level, but be very specific and measure your performance on a daily, weekly, monthly basis towards your quarterly goals, and let the middle fill itself in. It's kind of crazy, but that's the way I do it, and a lot of friends of mine do it, is they're very clear on where they want to end up in their BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal, 25 years out. If you haven't read Good to Great, if you're an entrepreneur, read the book. It's the Bible. It's very good. That's where BHAG comes from. But you want to know that 25-year where and disconnect from the how but then focus on the day-to-day, the week-to-week, the monthly, the quarterly. So that's how I review my goals to make sure I can use that as an input to then assess, am I working on the right things today, this week, next week? Because if not, I got to readjust my calendar. Number 5, gratitude. I am such a fan. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. If you're dealing with the struggle, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're not in the zone, if your energy is low, go back to gratitude. You can't be grateful and frustrated at the same time. You can't be grateful and sad at the same time. You can't be grateful and angry at the same time. And to me, I use the 5-minute journal. I'm actually really fortunate to coach Alex, one of the co-founders of the 5-minute journal. And I've been using it, coaching Alex is a recent thing, but I've been using it now for like 5 years, pretty much when it first came out. And it is a morning ritual that I haven't abandoned. It is just this beautiful, simple questions and structures. Part of it is gratitude. Part of it is affirmations. Part of it is setting the goals for the day. So that's like the high level, but definitely check it out. Highly recommend it. There's a mobile app as well that actually helped Alex build with the team, the mobile version. I'm a big fan of written pen to paper. So definitely check out the mobile if you want to get something quick, but my preference is the physical book. Number 6, visualize. I know I mentioned at the beginning, I'm not a fan of The Secret and all that stuff. Here's the thing. One of my friends and mentors, John Assaraf, has this thing called the law of Goya. Okay, Goya stands for get off your butt, right? And his rule is, and even though he was in The Secret, that's how I got to know him. He just believes, like I believe, that we need to do stuff and take action. So that's why I'm a big fan of the goals. I'm a big fan of energy management and hydration, all that stuff to get that outcome. But it's important to visually, our brains are visual. Our communication strategy, the way we think and communicate is more visual. It's easier for me to draw you a picture than to write out exactly what I'm thinking. So it is best, if we're trying to create an outcome in our lives, to represent it in a image visual format and look at it. But again, I'm always designing, every year I reset my vision board for the next 25 years, not the next year, not the next 3 years or 5 years, 25 years out. What does that look like? And disconnect from the how. I don't worry about the how. I just focus on, this is what I want my life to look like on all core areas, from my personal life to my business life to my community to the reason I'm here, my purpose, all those things. But I'm not stressing out about like, man, I'm here and there's just such a huge gap. I don't care. I honestly don't care if I achieve any of it. I just want to know that I'm reminding myself on where I'm going and why I get up. I believe that people typically are going to be successful. They're going to climb the ladder of success. The question is, did they lean that ladder up against the right wall? I've had too many friends of mine be successful, end up at the top of the ladder of success to look around to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall and they weren't happy with where they ended up. And to me, that's why I use a vision board and visualize every morning. Number 7, read. I think it's important that we feed our minds. We need to increase the amount of knowledge that we have so we can improve our ideation, the quality of our ideas, our ability to problem solve. So for me, every morning, 10 pages, non-negotiable. I like to read on my Kindle, but I also really enjoy reading a physical book because I feel like I don't even remember the title of the book. Somebody recently was like, "What book are you reading?" I don't know because I've been reading it on my Kindle. I can tell you the context of it, but I can't remember the title and the name and the author. So I'm a big fan of feeding my mind every morning. And for me, I like personal development. Why? Because I want to bring that level of energy, bring that level of betterment into my creative work. Okay. And for me, a lot of my work is problem solving and creative and talking to people. So I want to read books around personal development, leadership, motivation, habits, strategy, etc. So those are my morning reading. And then I also read in the afternoon and at night. I'm just going to give you the morning ritual. 10 pages every day, non-negotiable. It's part of my routine. Number 8, the final step is move. You need to move your body. When you wake up, I don't care if it's stretching, yoga, etc. Here's my prescription. I believe I got this from Hal's book, Miracle Morning, is I do 33 push-ups, 22 jumping jacks, and 10 air squats. They're body movements. They take probably a minute to do if you're fast. Well, maybe not a minute, but it's just about moving your body to get the blood flowing before you sit down and do anything else. That is my morning routine. I do it 95% of the time. If I'm traveling, depending on time zones, etc., I may not get to everything. But for me, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. And if you're not doing something today, you should start to own your morning, own that. And so some people are like, well, I have kids. I have 2 kids. Here's the deal. I have to get up before they wake up. Why? Because that's when I get that done. As soon as they wake up, if you know this, if you have kids, it is crazy and it's chaotic. But the people that claim their day, claim their morning, invest in themselves first, refill your glass, okay? Self-care, you'll have more. So we want to pour into ourselves first so we have more to pour into others. That is why the morning routine of Millionaires is so dialed in, because if we do that, it brings a sense of confidence, momentum, and motivation to the rest of the day that allows us to create more value in the world. So quick recap, the morning routine of a multimillionaire. Number 1, drink water. Number 2, meditate. 3, affirmations. 4, goals. 5, gratitude. 6, visualize. 7, read. And 8, move. So that is how we design a morning routine. If you're stressing because there's 8 things that you got to add and right now you're doing nothing, here's what I'm going to suggest. Habit stack it, okay? I think I got this from James Clear, another great author and thought leader in the space. Just add 1 new habit every day. Start tomorrow morning by drinking the water. Do that for 21 days or 2 months or whatever, and then add the next one. Add the meditation and keep stacking those habits until your morning routine is just your default, because it's in having that habit that when you have those moments of challenges and frustrations, that's what's going to pull you forward. A lot of people don't realize I don't do that for necessarily that day. I'm building that muscle so that when something bad happens, I'm prepared emotionally, mentally, physically. I've got the level of energy to be able to overcome it, okay? I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, I want to share with you an exclusive resource. These are my top books. You can click the link below to download them. I've categorized them in marketing, entrepreneurship, salesmanship, personal development. If you want to know what my personal favorite books, I think there's about 60 reference. You can click the link below to download your copy. And if you think there's anybody that this video could serve, feel free to share it with them directly. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to this channel. And as per usual, I want to challenge you even more today to live a bigger life and a bigger business. And I'll see you next Monday. Okay, Goya stands for get off your butt. Okay, A. Why don't I want to swear? I don't know. I'm just